You see all the junk in the corner there. I was just trying to move that all there. I said, mind the junk.
There you go. Oh, I don't know what you're talking about.
Hello, everybody. How are you? Apologise for again. We're a bit late. That was my fault this time because I went into town and I was a bit late coming back.
Yeah, and then when we were trying to set up, there was a bit of a technical problem, as there usually is with this laptop. I can't wait till one day I get a new one.
Oh, yes. Hopefully sometime soon.
Yeah, hopefully. You never know.
We are back. Anyway, we are live. We are back. How is everybody? Everybody well?
I hope everyone's well. It is Fri-yay,
It is
as
Friday,
I like to call it.
and I'm still eating my coffee candy canes.
Well, finishing your
I got one left.
canes, no?
You can just about see it in the corner there.
Okay.
This little fella. They don't taste of coffee, but they're so good. They just taste of sugar.
I just think when something is that soft, I don't think it tastes that good. But I don't know. But I've got a thingy one, a mint one. Oh no, I just broke it. Oh well.
I can't stand the mint. Anyway, enough of that. Happy Friday, everybody. How's everybody's week been? I hope everybody is well.
Yeah.
Now I've been off this week, so I've got to say it feels strange because normally on a Friday I am knackered. I am so tired, and sometimes I'm doing these lives, doing this, and I'm thinking, oh God, I'm so tired. I'm so tired. I hope everybody will see how tired I am. But it's weird. I'm full of energy. I'm all of a buzz because I've had the week off as well. I'm not going to lie. I have not got out of bed till 10:30 every single morning, and I do not feel any shame in that at all because I have earned it.
Yeah, I agree.
I have earned that. So it's been very, very nice actually, just being able to get up and chill. It's been actually wonderful, I've got to say.
Yeah.
I don't know how I'm going to get back into doing the old early rises again.
What working from home?
Well, no, working from home is fun, but it's still early rising. I'm having to get up like at least 3 hours earlier.
Yeah, but if you were traveling to work, how much earlier?
Oh, 4 hours earlier.
Okay. You could get a job that starts at 10 if you wanted to.
No, but then I got work till God knows when. So it's always a dilemma, that, isn't it? Doing the hour bits as well.
I like working early because I like finishing early.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But you're a morning person.
Yeah, I am.
I am not a morning person. So guys, I don't know about you. If out there, if any of you are morning people or are you not morning people, I am definitely not a morning person.
I was chatting to one girl and she said she's a morning person. I said, yeah, but are you a morning person? Like when you wake up, you can start chatting immediately and all this. And she said, yeah. I said, me too. I'm one of those people. I wake up, I'm happy, I can chat, It's not a big deal. But you get some people who are not like, yeah, they don't.
No, because Kelly will wake up really sprightly. So when the alarm goes, you're up.
Yeah.
And I'm like this. So if you imagine I'm in bed like this, the alarm goes, oh, it can't be that already. Oh.
But he could, like, it doesn't matter how early he could go to bed. He's still
no,
like that in the morning.
I know, it's really weird. I've even gone to bed really super early. Well, I say super early. I've even gone to bed like 9-10 o'clock. Now you would think and I fall asleep at 10 o'clock. So that's a good, if I get up at 7 a.m., that's a good 9 hours sleep. But even then I'm shattered. So it's I'm just
me, it's probably about 6 hours sleep. I'm all right. Yeah, 6 hours sleep. I wake up and I'm ready to go and do whatever. Like sometimes I need a little 10 minutes or like maybe a little half an hour or something and think, oh yeah, you know what, now I can get up and I can do things.
Me, that I'd be out of it. If I got 6 hours sleep, I really wouldn't be able to function properly.
To be fair, if it's once in the week, I could survive on 3 hours sleep.
Yeah.
But if it was more, say it was 3 hours one night and then it was 4 hours the next night, I'd be wrecked.
No.
But I could survive on 3.
Well, funny enough, a friend of mine, he said that as well. He had his children. He's got 2 children, and he said they were born within a year of each other.
Wow.
So he said for a good 2-3 years, he had 2 children under the age of 2.
Yeah.
And he said, Mark, it was hell. It was absolute hell. He said because I was at work and I was doing this. Or he said I didn't get any sleep.
Yeah.
So one of them would wake up and start crying, and the other one would wake up and start. And he said you just didn't get any sleep.
Yeah.
And he said I spent the whole day just doing this, just
because if one cries, the other one's going to wake up.
Yeah. He's just
never really been one to sort of sleep. Oh, your connection is unstable. Oh dear, sorry.
The little thing's going around.
There we go. We're back. I've never really been one to sleep in all day. The only time I slept in all day was I used to work in a hotel, and I did a night shift for about 4 months.
Is our microphone working? Because the thing's not moving. Do you want to check it on your live? This thing. So yeah, guys, apologies if you can't hear it. Hi, Charlie. How are you? You well? Tell us about. Go on. What are your followers now? I know you're doing really, really well so far. We're just going to check the if. Oh yeah, no, it's fine. We're fine. We're fine. We're fine. We just checked. Sorry, we have had problems with the sound in the past, so I was a bit skeptical because there's a little microphone thing here which normally moves and tells us when we've got 873.
Wow!
That's really good.
Really, really good.
You're nearly up there with the up there with the thousands.
So yeah, I've never. The only time, I used to work in a hotel, and I used to work nights, but I was supposed to work it for 6 months. But after 4 months in, I realised I wasn't built for working nights.
I could do nights. That would suit me down to the ground. The only reason I don't do nights is because I don't want those unsociable hours. I think the days of me being able to do that have gone past. It was funny because we were talking about. So I don't know about you guys, if anyone could do nights, but Kelly and I took a night taxi once to the airport. Do you remember? I was chatting to the taxi driver, and he said he did nights. So his shift started at 10 p.m. and he worked all the way through to 6 a.m. But I said, "Oh wow, do you sleep then the rest of the day?" And he said, "No." He said, "I go to sleep. I get back home at about 7 a.m. He said, I fall asleep, but he said, I naturally wake up at midday, so about 12. So he's only had, 4 or 5 hours sleep? And then he said, I just naturally wake up. I then go off and do my own thing. He said, this suits me down. And he wasn't a young guy. He was an old, do you remember this guy?
Vaguely.
He was an older guy. And he said, no, it worked for him, an absolute treat. He just said, he got up at noon, did his little thing. He could go shopping. He said, I could do all my shopping during the day. And he said it was great because obviously you missed the rush hour.
Yeah.
So he said, and I stay in, avoid the rush hour. And then at 10 p.m. when I start my night shift, he said, of course, then the rush hour's gone now. And he said, of course, his job was pretty much taking drunk people back from the nightclubs to home or taking people to airports. That's pretty much what he was doing.
I think for me, what my mistake was when I was working nights, because I was so afraid that at night I would be falling asleep, that I would sleep all day. So the moment I got in, I would sleep, I'd wake up for some food, eat food, then go back to sleep.
Yeah.
And I'd sleep for the whole day so that I could be up all night. And that was my mistake. So my mistake is because when you work all day, you don't come home and go to bed. You work all day, you come home, you stay up for a few hours until it's bedtime. And what I should have done was when I get in the morning, not go to bed straight away, be up, have breakfast, and maybe go to bed, I don't know, maybe say about 11 o'clock, 10, 11 o'clock. And then sleep and then get up maybe 8 or 9, because I wouldn't need to be in work till about 11, I think it was. So yeah, I'd start at 11 and finish at 8. I think it, or maybe it might be 7 or 8, something like that.
So for you guys out there, how about you? Are you night people or are you more morning people? Do you prefer going up early in the morning and then getting that day done, or do you prefer doing those night evening things? I think as you get older, I think people tend to become more morning people. But I've got to be honest, I think I'll never be a morning person. I will never.
Unless you're on holiday.
Even then, I think, like I said, I get up for breakfast and stuff like that, but really I'm not a morning person, unless the only way that changes if the time zones change.
Yeah.
Because then obviously my body clock's completely messed up, so I can then get up earlier. But
you get up early when we're on holiday.
Probably because I enjoy it. But there we are. So on other news, changing the subject slightly, very sad news about Gianluca Vialli. So anybody that's into football, Charlie will know, and your brother will know especially. Gianluca Vialli was a very famous player that played for Italy and managed Chelsea Football Club. He did manage Italy and sadly passed away today. So with cancer at the age of 58. So he was very young actually to pass away. So sad news there as well. I was a big fan of Vialli, and it's very sad to hear that. So.
Yeah, and young.
Yeah, I know. So apparently he had cancer before, was given the all clear in 2013, but it came back quite aggressively.
Hey, Aoife.
Hi, Aoife. How are you?
I hope you're well.
You good? Everything well? But yeah, that was a sad news. So we had
Yeah.
that story today. So that was quite sad to read that.
No, I was going to say, so we haven't got anything planned this weekend.
No. So funny enough, Kelly and I, are you exhausted?
Aww.
Are you back from the hotel now? Or are you still there? And did you manage to sort out the debacle of you getting a free breakfast so them not giving you a free breakfast? No, so Kelly and I were having a chat actually, and I think we were saying this in our videos early. We must up our video content.
Yeah. We truly do. Oh, left. She's left now. Okay.
How was it? Did you manage to sort it out in the end?
Yeah. And was it a good like little break? Do you know what I mean? Because like sometimes I feel we need a little break.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Do you know what I mean? You need to get away, have a little bit of a break.
Do you know what? This week I've had off as well. I didn't go anywhere, but I've got to say I really, really enjoyed the rest. I really needed that way more than I realised. I realised that made me sit back. I've not had a week off work properly, but I sit back and do nothing for a year, for an entire year. So normally when I've had leave, we're doing something.
Yeah.
Going somewhere, I'm either having to tidy something up or relax or something. So that was this, even though I had 2 weeks off, that first week was us prepping for Christmas.
Yeah.
So this second was the very first time. So I've got to say it was absolutely fantastic. Really enjoyed it. Eva said, I got the breakfast, but not the evening meal on the first night.
Okay.
Did they compensate you though? I hope you did. If they didn't, do write and complain to the actual hotel or your booking agent, whoever you went through, because you definitely deserve that as well. If you've paid for that, they definitely should give you that, or at least give you vouchers off, or at least something,
some type of comp.
But for them not to do that, that's awful. We told you about that time. So Kelly and I went to Paris. Do you remember that one time as well? So the hotel advertised looked fantastic. We got in there, and my God, it was terrible. It looked like a scene from the best way I could describe it is from Evil Dead 6 or something, or what's it, Resident Evil. It was that the corridors were all completely messed up.
It was horrible.
The carpet looked like a sea. It hadn't stuck to the floor, so it was just all ripples.
Buckled,
it was just really bad. It was so bad. And actual fact, when we complained, they actually gave us, they just let us just pay for the night, because normally you're committed to the 4 days. I thought, oh God, because you said you didn't want to stay there for 4 days.
No. Hi, Keegan.
Hi, Keegan. How are you?
Yeah, so we hadn't paid. So we only paid for our first night. And so the night before, I went to have a look at a hotel, and then I went to have a look at the room, and I said, do you have any room? Great, I'm going to make a booking for tomorrow. And then checked out of that hotel and went to the other hotel. It was Best Western we ended up staying in.
Yeah.
It was really nice. And we were telling the guy, and he goes, oh, that's strange in Paris. That's the room is not good. And I was like, yep, it wasn't good. But I'm glad we went to that other hotel. Then I was able to enjoy the rest, because if I had stayed in that hotel, I would not have been able to enjoy, do you know what I mean? The hotel and stuff. I wouldn't have been able to enjoy my time in Paris. So I feel that that would have been a problem.
No, actually, even Kelly hasn't shown me the photos yet. You didn't show me the photos.
Oh no, I only had to look at them this morning.
Oh right,
I think it was. I only had to I think this morning, maybe yesterday. I'll have to have another look when I answered them. But yeah, I only had a quick peek. But no, I was on public transport when I was looking and messaging.
I'll take a look at them, Aoife, though. I'll have a look. I hope the views were nice, though. At least if you could enjoy that rather than getting the meal. Keegan said, oh, I'm good. Went back to school on Thursday.
Wow.
So yesterday. So how was it? Actually, in fact, that's quite nice, actually, because you've only got to do 2 days. So that's actually quite nice to just slowly ease your way back in. How was it going back? Did you get the blues, or was it okay? Did
you meet up with your friends? Was it nice to meet back up with your friends and have a little bit of a chat and that? Yeah, so we're planning on what we might do this weekend. I'm not sure. So I'll have to have a look at my little list, because I've got a little list of places that I want to go and see, visit and stuff like that. I've got a few videos to edit, videos that we did just before Christmas. So I want to do those, and yeah, I'd like to go out and do a bit more filming and check those sorts of things out. Yeah,
definitely. So we have said that we will put more videos up there. There's been a big break actually that we took purely because we were hosting Christmas this year, so it was a bit very hectic to say the least.
Yeah, and I think I've been a little bit out of the rhythm of like doing videos and stuff like that, so I'm really going to try and concentrate and get down and sort of like do those videos and
that. Hudson Bay Hotel in Roscommon. Roscommon, sorry.
Roscommon.
Aoife was saying. Keegan said it was nice to meet my friends again. I enjoyed going back. Oh, that's good. That's always nice to go back.
Yeah.
And did you tell each other about all the presents you had over Christmas? Have you started using your presents already? I suppose you have. And what did you get again? Aoife said, please check out the website. Well, have a little look at that actually.
Yeah, I'll take a little look. The pictures look quite nice from what I saw. So yeah, I'll have a look at the website and see what they're all about. Yeah.
So but recommendation for anybody going to Hudson Bay Hotel, just be careful, make sure if you have booked the food, make sure you get it.
Yeah.
Because poor old Aoife, she had booked for the evening meal and didn't get it the first night.
Yeah. So you're saying that the pictures on the website look better than the actual pictures that you took?
Well, you always find that, I've got to say. So it's very much always what I call the McDonald's effect. If you look at McDonald's, the photographs of the food at McDonald's, very rare. Well, I say that a lot of places actually, not picking on McDonald's. But you see this beautiful, immaculate hamburger on the photograph. When you open your thing as well, like there's all the condensation that has shriveled it all.
Yeah, but I think like sometime like so when I was younger, I mean, we travel a lot anyway, but when I first started traveling, I would look at a picture in the book and then I'd go to that place and I'd be like, it does look like the picture in the book, but it's not as bright as the picture in
Singularity.
Hey, Singularity.
How are you? You okay?
So you look at the picture in the magazine and then you're there and it's the same picture, but it's not quite the same. The only time I've been on holiday and it felt like I was actually stepping into a postcard is Mauritius. When I was there and you stepped on the beach, it looked like it was just straight out of a postcard and you're just stepping into that postcard.
I find that with a lot of hotels though, because you look at the thing, you think it's okay, but you look at it on the photograph, you think this looks amazing. It's the same room, but it looks amazing on here.
Yeah.
And it's just different lighting. It's just amazing how if you light it in a certain way, if it's a perfect day, how much better it looks. Of course, what they tend to do is take these photographs after they've done a lick of paint, or they've just revamped it. Right now, let's take the photograph.
Or they edit the picture to like brighten it. They Photoshop it a little bit.
Oh my God, everything has to be pre-booked.
Oh wow.
So when you say that, Aoife, is that a case then that they if you just rock up there, you can't get any of the treatments or anything like that because they'll turn around to you and say, oh yeah, we can't give it to you because it's not available. Because that does sound a bit weird to me.
Hey Ray Ray.
Ray Ray, hello. Happy New Year, Ray Ray. We haven't wished you Happy New Year so far.
In case we didn't answer the singularity, we're good, thank you.
Yes, we are very well.
We're very well, thank you.
I hope you are too as well. You got anything nice planned for this weekend? So we were just saying actually, for anybody just logged on, we really need to rack up our video content. So we're going to try and do some filming this weekend. We have got a lot of stuff on the back catalogue that we just haven't edited.
Happy New Year to you too. Are you both well? We are both well.
We are good. Thank you.
Thank you. I hope you are too.
I was going to say glad it's Friday, but for this time I'm not because I've had the week off, so this marks the end of my week off, unfortunately. But I still got the weekend, which is still good.
Yeah, so that's still good.
I've got a couple more days of rest and relaxation. Yeah, we're really, really good. Oh, I see. Everything has to pre-book. So is that Aoife, just out of interest, are they saying that because it's absolutely booked out, or is it the fact that they don't want you using the facilities, so therefore they're forcing you to pre-book to put you off it, if that makes sense? It just seems a little odd. You have to pre-book everything.
Yeah, you have to pre-book everything like that. You have to pre-book this, or is it because of COVID? So is it still prevalent there in the sense that they don't want too many people in the spa, they don't want too many people in certain areas, so therefore you're pre-booking like a time slot almost?
V Singer says that I'm good, thanks. Not many plans the weekend. Just a nice dinner with some friends at a restaurant in Piccadilly.
Oh, do you guys have plans? Do you know what? That sounds to me quite nice. You're getting together with friends. You're going to chillax. You're going to have a nice dinner and all of that. We haven't planned anything. Funnily enough, I was saying to Mark, like, should we do something today? But I wasn't feeling in the mood. So you quickly popped out to town to do a couple of things.
Yeah.
And then I just thought I should have given you my jumper to take back. But
I know. Do you know what? I thought that on the way
and
in.
I thought,
oh,
no. Maybe they might need my card, and I thought I should have given you my card. But anyway, it doesn't matter. I'll take it back at some point, maybe tomorrow. And so we were thinking what we should do. I've got a list of places that I would like to try. So I may pick a random on the list, or tomorrow I may just edit videos. I'll do some editing after this anyway. I doubt I'll be able to get one up because I'm in the middle of editing and I know there's a lot to do. So either I will continue editing or I might be bored and just start a new one.
We'll see. So we may even, so if we do go into London, we may see you in Piccadilly. That's if we do go in.
If we do go in.
What was I going to say as well? But there was a nice thing in, what was that nice restaurant we went to in Piccadilly? It was just fun.
Yeah, it was called Happy.
Happy.
Yeah.
There was a restaurant we went to called Happy in Piccadilly.
It's not the best restaurant. So if you're looking for like a little bit more of an elevated taste, or even if you were looking for just something that was reasonable mid-range, then that's the place to go. But if you're looking for something a little bit more elevated, that's not the place to go. But it was reasonably priced, I feel, for the middle of London. And the food wasn't bad. Portion size wasn't quite your portion size, really. But nothing really is unless it's unlimited, to be fair.
I love the unlimited.
Yeah, unless it's all you care to enjoy.
So I'm just looking at Aoife's comments as well. It says every guest has to pre-book. Yeah, breakfast is 7 till 8. Who does it 7 till 8?
For an hour. Wow.
1 hour for breakfast. That's mad. I want 7 till 10. Because the thing is as well, you might not want to
11.
Well, exactly. And normally at the weekend, I know you weren't there at the weekend, but normally at the weekend they do that. They do extend it to 11 o'clock.
Yeah, some places it depends. Sometimes it can be between 10 and 11. And then it's like some places on the weekend it'll be to 11, but then during the week it's until 10. So it just depends though. Not everywhere. Some places finish at 9, you know.
Yeah, I know.
That's crazy. And you're like,
but that is mad. 7 till 8. I've never heard it that. VT never said, would love you to bump into you guys if you're at Piccadilly at the same time.
You would recognize us, we would recognize you. So
yeah, exactly.
You'd have to approach us.
Yeah, you say, oh no. Those two look weird in real life. Breakfast is buffet, not or hot fryer. Well, that sounds nice though. That is up my street.
Buffet. Yeah.
I would definitely go for the buffet, but I was going to say they'd only give me 1 hour to get my fill. But I can do that.
As if you wouldn't accept the challenge.
I would rise to the challenge. Somebody's got to rise to the challenge, Aoife, and I would rise to the challenge. No, that would be good actually if we saw you in Piccadilly. That would be really cool.
Yeah.
We'll have to do a look-see around there and to see.
Yeah, and see.
Yeah. But yeah, enjoy. I hope you enjoy as well.
Yeah.
Whichever restaurant you go to.
For sure. Yeah. Have a lovely time. And like I said, it's lovely catching up with friends. I love doing that.
I know it's really, really good time to do as well. But go careful out there as well because it's going to be very, very busy.
Yeah.
I think the train strikes have ended though.
Yeah, so it would be
yeah, it will be busy. Yeah,
it would be busy because the train strikes have ended. Because I think the end of the train strike was today.
Yeah. Aoife said non-residents not encouraged to come for breakfast unless pre-booked. Oh my god, they're very much into their pre-booking this hotel. So on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rate it, Aoife, this hotel? That's going to be interesting. Overall, your overall mark. And if you would give different marks for different elements, and do let us know. But what would be your overall mark?
Wow.
That's going to be interesting to see as well. Especially, I think it's going to drop a little bit because she didn't get the evening meal.
What's the best hotel you think we've stayed at?
Oh, it's good. Different ones for different reasons.
Yeah.
So Vegas hotels don't have much in them.
Yeah.
But I love them just because it's Vegas.
Yeah.
If you're talking about the room itself, it's probably Homewood Suites.
In Florida, yeah. I think
6 out of 10. That's not great.
10. Okay, so I think I love the Homewood Suites in Florida. Yes. And I liked when we stayed at Park MGM in Vegas.
Yeah.
I liked the room.
That was nice.
That was a nice room. I liked the room. I liked when we stayed in the little thatched room in Mauritius.
Yeah, that was nice.
I really liked that one. But we did have a lizard in the room, which you called Cyril. I think.
Cyril the lizard.
And I liked. I'm just trying to think.
So over to you guys. If I could, if you got a genie come out of the lamp and said, I can take you back to any hotel you like, but it has to be a hotel you've been in, not a new one. What one would it be and why? So if it's a hotel, remember you're talking about the hotel, so not just the location. So if you stayed in a rubbish hotel but you love the location, you're talking. This is more about the hotel.
The hotel itself.
So it's just to give us some idea what some good places to stay. So my recommendation. And it's not the best hotel because we've never stayed in massively plush hotels.
Yeah, we've never stayed yet.
I don't think we've ever done a 5-star.
No, I think the highest that we've gone is 4.
4, yeah.
I think.
But my personal favorite was Homewood Suites in Florida. That's in Point Orlando in Florida. 2 reasons really. One was because it's Florida, but I know I was just talking about the room. But the room, you've got a double bed and a big room, which we normally get when we go to Europe. But you also got a kitchenette and a living room.
But we also got that in New York.
We did, but I preferred the one in Florida.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're talking suite, but it's the only place that you actually get a suite.
Yeah.
And it's reasonably priced because I'm not one of these people that will spend mega bucks on a flight and mega bucks on a hotel. I'd rather spend less on the flight and less on the hotel and have the rest of spending money.
So Aoife's come back with Premier Inn in Holyhead.
Oh.
I've not been to Holyhead. But actually, Premier Inns are all right, you know. They are not bad. I know. I
don't think I've stayed in a Premier Inn.
I know Charlie likes Premier Inns.
Yeah, Charlie likes the Premier Inns. I don't think I've ever stayed in. I've stayed in a Holiday Inn before. I've stayed in Best Western. But I've
and
Travelodge. Yeah.
I'm sure we've done a Premier Inn. I'm sure we've done a Premier Inn.
No.
I'm positive we've done a Premier Inn.
No, we haven't. We did an Ibis. We've done an NH. Because we did NH when we went to Amsterdam.
Radisson Blu were quite good as well.
Radisson Blu, yeah, but they're not reason. I feel like Radisson Blu, which was a really nice hotel, it's not what you call it. It's not reasonably priced.
No,
we're talking about reasonably priced.
No. Yeah. This was not reasonably priced. Remember, the thing is, if you could have someone could take you back to any hotel you've already been to. Which one would it be? So remember, it's one that you've already been to.
It's a difficult one.
Because the reason I say that is because obviously everybody would just say, "Oh, I want to go into a really plush one, like the 7-star hotel in Dubai or something." It's got to be something that unless you've been to the 7-star one in Dubai or anyone like that, it has to be one you've been there.
I would choose the.
Look at that. Sorry, before you go, the Singularity, we're on the same wavelength. There was one hotel I stayed at in Dubai, which was absolutely wonderful. Unfortunately, I can't remember the name, but the rooftop pool had the most amazing view of the city and the said beds behind it. It wasn't the 7-star one, was it?
Wow, that sounds amazing. We the sort of like we've not really stayed in plush hotels, like I said. We don't like. I'd rather have the spending money. But I feel like I would love to stay in a plush hotel one day. One day I would really like to go and stay in a lovely hotel and be pampered and all of that type of stuff. That'd be so nice.
Keegan said, "Oh, I love the Premier Inn because of the breakfast buffet." Yeah, I know, because Charlie was saying he really liked it as well. Is that your favourite bit because of the breakfast buffet? Hey, Naha, how are you?
How are you?
So Naha, the question is, if Genie could take you to any hotel that you've been in before, it has to be a hotel that you've stayed at before, which one would you go back to and why? Aoife said Mark and Kelly is the sister figure I looked up to. The Singularity said no, it was it wasn't the 7-star one. I was going to say that was very expensive. You've been to that one. I don't think I've ever been. I even have half the amount of money it costs to stay there. Apparently they say that to walk through the door is something like £20,000.
What?
Or is it something like, maybe I got that wrong, but you're talking
That's
thousands
crazy.
a night. Yeah, Keegan said I love the breakfast buffet because of love the Premier because of the breakfast buffet. Well, quite like the travel. Well, you didn't like it as much, but I like the Travelodge buffet.
Yeah.
Oh, these Singularities, well, because I want to go to Dubai, but you're not convinced. Would you recommend it?
I'm not convinced. Yeah, I don't know. Like I always hear mixed reviews. Like some people like it, and then some people find it a bit strange.
Well, I know I've heard both things. Some people say they love going. Well, your sister loves going.
Yeah.
Because of the spending and the shopping and the have you.
Yeah.
Somebody just once described to me as a godless, soulless place, which I thought was a little bit harsh. But somebody else said as well, it was really, really good. There's lots to do there. So I'm just interested in people's interpretation of it.
I think it's mixed reviews. So I think maybe in a few years' time, maybe it might appeal to me. I'm not sure. But I think there's so many places to check out in the world. So possibly.
Kelly, persuade Mark to accompany. This is Aoife to the premiere in Holyhead. We must. I'm convinced we've been to a premiere in, so maybe I got that wrong. But I really do want to try the.
We've not been to a premiere.
Buffet. Definitely want to try the buffet.
Unless you've been to a premiere in.
I might have done before. I'm pretty sure I have done.
Prior to being with me, possibly. But I've not been to a premiere in before. I'm just trying to think. Have I been with friends and stuff like that? But I don't think so.
We've done loads of travel lodges, but
we've done loads of travel lodges. We've done some juries inns. Because we don't always stay at chain. Like when we go to Florida, we'll stay in a chain hotel, and sometimes around here, juries inn or travel lodge. So we haven't stayed at a lot of chain hotels.
No, we haven't.
Radisson Blu's a chain
Radisson
hotel.
Blu's a chain hotel. I would definitely recommend it. I was also skeptical about it, but there is something for everyone. Thank you.
Okay.
Do you know what? It's the one thing though. My friend said to me, "Whatever you do, do not go in August because you will die. It's so hot."
Yeah.
If you're more into modern things, the city is perfect. Malls, loads of restaurants and shopping.
Yeah.
Keegan hates
talking my language.
Keegan hates the travel lodge.
Oh really?
Why do you hate the travel lodge compared to the Premier Inn? Also, there's an old city and the wonderful desert. That's the thing as well. Part of the culture as well. There's a very famous photo taken of Dubai in 1990, and it literally is just two towers. 2 skyscrapers,
right?
And in all that time, in 30 years, it's massively developed. When you consider a city like London's taken hundreds and hundreds of years to develop, but Dubai's pretty much formed in 30.
Yeah,
it's very, very telling.
There was a company that I worked for at one point, and they were developing. They had projects over there and developing stuff over there. Yeah, and I had a friend who went there. And she was doing the dune buggies.
Yeah.
She was doing a lot of dune buggies over the sand dunes. Yeah. So she said she had a brilliant time. So yeah, there are. I've had, like I said, mixed reviews. Yeah.
Well, I know people that have gone out there to work. So especially teaching.
Plenty of people I've known that have gone out there to work. Yeah.
But it's all tax free. I mean, they're working out there, and they just said it's great. You get all this money. It's tax free.
Yeah.
And it's just a really good place to live.
I wonder how they find the money then to build things or to like run the country kind of thing, because if you don't pay tax.
Well, there's other ways as well. Oil.
Yeah.
Eva said, "Oh, I love the Premier Inn breakfast. I like that. We definitely have to try this. We did, like I said, we've done the travel lodge breakfast. We haven't done the Premier Inn, so we must give that a go." V Singularity said it's definitely very artificial as it's made by humans over a desert.
Yeah.
But as I said, there's also the old city with more historical, 20 minutes from the new city.
But it's the same as Vegas.
Do you know what I was just about to say? So Las Vegas is like that. As you fly in, for anybody that's been, it's funny because you're in this plane, you're overlooking, you think this is just miles and miles of desert. Where the hell are we going? I can't believe it. And then suddenly, especially if you fly at night, suddenly out of nowhere you see these lights. You think, what? And then you just fly over this big city, just in the middle of the desert.
Yeah.
And of course, those that know the history about it as well, it was created during the Prohibition.
Prohibition, yeah.
So people weren't allowed to drink. So they created a city which you could do. So everybody flocked to this one city.
Yeah.
But Vegas is very much, you've got Old Vegas, which is where the Golden Nugget is, and
that's
area.
the original Vegas.
That's original Vegas. And then they created New Vegas, which is a lot more hotels, and that's the southern part.
Yeah, it's a lot more for the people who want to, you know, like it's built up in the sense to attract more people. But it is like, I was talking to someone the other day and they said, oh, Vegas has never appealed to me because they think it's tacky and whatnot. But it's true but within the tackiness, like some of the stuff that they've done is absolutely amazing. Like you know, they've got the St. Mark's Square and all of this, and yeah, and someone was saying, oh no, I don't really want to go, and all of this, and yeah.
Oh, so Keegan said, I hate the Travel Lodge because of the breakfast and the Wi-Fi.
Right. Okay.
Well, do you know what? Funny you should say that, actually, because would you say the Premier Inn breakfast is much better than the Travel Lodge breakfast? Because we did have the Travel Lodge breakfast.
I think it depends which Travel Lodge you go to, which Premier Inn you go to, and
I've
all
got to say, the bit I don't like with the Travel Lodge is we paid for it. This really annoyed me because I stayed in Devon with my parents,
right?
And they said they had the breakfast, but it's what they called the breakfast box.
Yeah,
and that really irked me. Because what was annoying with it is, well, it literally was just a small, like a cereal bar and a flapjack. I thought, I don't want flapjack for breakfast, and a few other bits as well, and they would not give us a refund.
Oh.
So, well, no, I phoned at the head office and they wouldn't give a refund. So I went to the reception. They said, all right, we'll do it for you.
Yeah.
But I had to ask. But yeah, so you've got to be careful which one you go for. Eva said the Premier Inn Mark isn't great for you as a pescatarian. Yeah, that's funny though, because the Travel Lodge did do veggie stuff, but I've noticed this actually, like with the Toby Carvery, like with Travel Lodge, they do things like veggie sausages and veggie bacon, but you have to ask.
Yeah, you have to ask.
They don't cook it and leave it out, so you actually have to physically go and find somebody, and they will go and cook it for you.
But there is one Travel Lodge in the city, and they do a load of veggie sausages that they do cook for people who want veggie sausages. Yeah. They have it there. So they're not ones that cook it on demand. They actually have it there. So if you want to have veggie sausages, you can. They're just there.
Because we did stay in a Travel Lodge, actually. Do you remember in North London for your friend's wedding?
Oh,
and they had the veggie sausages out.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they did. But I noticed the one we went to when my parents stayed, they didn't.
Yeah.
I had to. I didn't, but I couldn't be bothered. The thing is, there was no staff around at the time. I think they were busy doing other things. I couldn't bother to go track them down. But I would have had to track them down to find them, and then obviously go and then ask for the veggie breakfast.
Yeah.
V Singularity said, if you ever go to Dubai, I'd be happy to recommend and give you a list of great places to visit. Oh,
recommend.
Thank you.
Great.
We will definitely take you up on that if we go.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you. That's very kind. Thank you. I would do the same for anybody for Vegas, by the way.
Yeah, or where? Florida.
Well, yeah, Florida, anywhere that we've been.
Yeah, let us know, and we will definitely do that. Hence the Mark and Kelly's trip tips and things.
And I'll send a whole list. I've got a whole list for Vegas. Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's plenty to do in Vegas as
well.
Eva said, "Oh, Mark, I like the fact that Premier Inn have an evening meal. Now, Travel Lodge did an evening meal.
Yes, they did.
But we never tried it.
Yeah.
So they did do an evening meal. With a lot of these hotels as well, it really depends on their catering facilities. That's what I noticed. So, for example, if you are if they have a working kitchen, then they will cater for you as well. But a lot of these Travel Lodges, I've noticed, especially if they're out on the outskirts of a city or a town, they're quite small. They are literally just for staying in. Do you remember? So when I went to my uncle's funeral, unfortunately, when I had to go in Devon, it was funny. This Travel Lodge, there's one Travel Lodge we stayed at because it was near the church service. And what was happening was it really was just a place for builders. And because I remember I was walking in and there was sand down all the thing. I thought, we're not near the beach. I thought, what's going on? And you realise what it was. It was the builders bringing it in.
Right.
And what the builders were doing, they were coming in. One guy was coming in with a whole microwave under his arm. Yeah, a whole microwave and a load of food. So clearly they were going to cook their own while they were there, because there was no cooking facilities there at all. It was literally just a place to sleep.
But we did want to book your parents into a Premier Inn, but it was fully booked.
Yeah, it was fully
But
booked.
they did breakfast and stuff like that as well, included in their rate.
Oh, so Charlie said there's a new hotel Travelodge in Skegness Beach.
Do you know what? Travelodge are expanding, you know.
Yeah,
I
they
see
are.
like Travelodge everywhere these days.
Well, there's a few near our hometown,
Yeah,
isn't
yeah,
there?
yeah.
There's a new one being built.
Yeah. There's a couple.
Yeah.
There's a couple being built, yeah.
Have you been to it yet, Charlie? And if you say you're going to go, because you can just go and have breakfast there.
Yeah.
Which is what we were thinking of doing at one point. But,
Yeah.
Just go in and help yourselves as well. It's not too bad.
Yeah.
So the one here is about £9 something, just under a tenner.
Yeah, just under £10, I think.
Per person, that is. And again, of course, that's unlimited breakfast.
Yeah, unlimited. I think though we should go to a few different hotels, and try out their breakfast. Yeah.
Aoife said Hudson Bay had pears, cereal, fruits, milk, and juices, and the option of a hot fry-up. See, that sounds all right, but I would say, was it a buffet? So could you, I don't know if you'd know this, but could you ask for a fry-up and then go back again and ask for a second fry-up?
Yeah.
Because Ed's Diner used to do that. Do you remember? Because on the menu it said unlimited breakfast. So I had a fry-up, but I thought, oh no, I just sound really bad if I asked for another fry. And I wish I had, but they said you could have as many fry-ups.
Yeah, as many fry-ups as you want. But I think that's good they do it cooked to order, because then you're kind of not wasting food. And I think in this day and age, but like a lot of things, and every time I'm out, I always forget to do Too Good To Go.
Oh, yeah.
I always forget to do a Too Good To Go.
We've been meaning to do that for a while. So that's the Too Good To Go app, which Richard kept telling us we should use.
Yeah.
But we're so bad for it. We always forget to do it.
Yeah.
And I could have done it today because I was out about. And I was going to say
I could do it every evening this week, and I forgot.
Yeah. It's so easy to do. You've just got to be really.
Remember to go Too Good To Go, and then because you've got to go there and pick it up.
So for those of you who don't know, Too Good To Go is an app where you can actually they'll have a whole list of things in your area, and it could be anything from pret-a-manger to any restaurant. Any restaurant
that partakes in the app.
Yeah.
And they pretty much will tell you what they've got at the end. So like if it's a lunchtime and they've got food left over, or they predict they're going to have food left over, you pay a fraction of the price, something like £3 or whatever, and you don't know what you're going to get in this bag. Then you go along and then they fill up your bag and stuff.
So yeah, with a lot of it, like for example, you might, if prep were involved, they might say, so rather than a sandwich and a drink being £6-7 normally, they might sell it for 2 or 3. So the idea is it's stuff they were going to throw away anyway, so they'll just put it in the Too Good To Go. And the idea is to reduce food waste.
Yeah.
We've been meaning to do it. So we've got the app, we've downloaded it, and we always forget to check it.
Maybe I'll try to do it tomorrow.
Yeah, I know we'll forget.
Yeah.
We'll forget.
Yeah.
And that's our problem. We just got our thing. But Richard got some really good goodies, didn't he? He got
loads of
he got a
goodie.
He got
some goodies. But like other people that I see, they get like loads of stuff as well that I see on YouTube. They get like quite a few things. So it is one of those ones. And then there's another one which I think is Olio, but you've got to go to the person's house. And I'm not sure I would like to go to someone's house to pick up stuff. But yeah, if you don't mind, you can go to you check the Olio app and you go to someone's house. They'll tell you what they've got and you go to their house.
No to a second top up of breakfast.
Oh.
Well, Aoife, I would be saying, so hang on a minute, you said buffet. Buffet to me means unlimited.
Well, it depends. When someone says buffet, it can be buffet of anything. So if it's a buffet of cereals, juices, pears, cold cuts or whatever, that's the buffet, isn't it? That's what happened when we were in France.
Unlimited.
Not France. Brussels. The first time that we went, and it was just like boiled eggs, cheese, and bread. God. That was the worst.
Right. We won't. Yeah. Kelly's so right. Do you know what? We stayed at one hotel. I won't say the name of it, but that was the worst food I've ever had in a hotel. It was so horrible. Bad. So the breakfast, and it sounds nice. So they had scrambled egg.
No, it wasn't even scrambled. It was boiled egg.
No, they had scrambled eggs as well. So you had boiled eggs, scrambled eggs, and they had unlimited toast. So I thought to myself, well, that's not bad. I'll just have scrambled eggs on toast. But the eggs were cold. They weren't even tepid or warm. They were cold. So they'd been left out for quite a while. They were so watery. So I don't know what they cooked them in, but I don't know if it felt like they cooked them in water, but they clearly used something as well, and it was all
I don't
runny.
know. I didn't see scrambled eggs. All I saw was boiled eggs, slices of cheese, and bread, a couple of
Yeah,
pastries. That's all I saw. I didn't see any scrambled eggs.
there was nothing else as well, absolutely nothing else. So I just thought to myself, there's nothing to go with it, and I thought, well, I'll have loads of scrambled eggs. I think I started eating, I couldn't eat it. It was so, but it was really gloopy, runny eggs, and it's just I thought this is making me feel sick. I can't eat it.
From then on, after that, we didn't. I think that one, and there was another hotel that we stayed. So we stayed at two cheaper hotels. So one was in Brussels, and the other one was in Lanzarote, and it was on a steep hill. And
Oh
after
yeah,
those two hotels, I vowed I would pay a little bit more and stay in better placed hotels. And just thought, you know what, I at that time I could walk them steep hill. Try ask me now if I could walk that steep hill. I couldn't. I wouldn't.
Eva said so. From the hotel she stayed at, breakfast offerings were scrambled egg, fried egg, hash browns, toast, sausages, rashers of bacon, tea or coffee, or black and white pudding. So it's quite substantial. You probably wouldn't need more than that actually if you were to have that. I just, when somebody says buffet and they turn around and say you can have one helping, my thing is whoa, that's not buffet. Whoa. But I do know what you're saying. The also thing is I like to have breakfast at the hotel and prepay for it because it means I've got more spending money on the holiday.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, one thing that we found as well, I found if you do go to Las Vegas, most of the hotels, not all, but most of the hotels do not include breakfast.
Yeah.
And eating out in Vegas is expensive if you're doing the buffets. If you're doing even if you just get regular point, and there's not healthy food there. So don't, there's probably one or two places, but they're in the rule generally it's all takeaways.
Yeah.
So that cost me a lot more money because we ended up doing one buffet a day. Sometimes we did two, which is ridiculous, but it was very expensive.
We tried to do more brunches.
Yeah.
So it was in the middle of the day and then snack in the evening because it's very hot there and I don't have a big appetite when it's like really hot weather. But there's only one on the actual strip. There's only one place that I know of. Well, back then, because we've not been for a few years, but back then there was only one place that I knew of that was on the strip that included breakfast, and that was the Tropicana. And that is at what I would call the beginning of the strip.
Because that's right at the very south end of the strip.
Yeah, so as you walk up, the further you walk up, you're sort of then going towards the old town. So so when you start, Tropicana is one of the first hotels, and that's the only hotel on the strip. And they have suites there. So you have your kitchenette and you have your bedroom. So it's not a fancy hotel. But that's the only one that I believe includes breakfast on the room. There are hotels off the strip that do include breakfast on the room. One of them was the Desert Rose. So when I very first went, and I went with a friend of mine, we stayed at the Desert Rose. Nobody knew of it, nobody heard of it, but it was right next door to Hooters. And I'd say, "Do you know where Hooters is?" "Yeah, sure, I know where Hooters is." And then
I love that story.
We'd go there, and it was very much like the Homewood Suite. So you had like a kitchenette and a room, and the balcony, our balcony overlooked the swimming pool, which was quite nice. Yeah, it was a nice hotel, but it was 10 minutes off the strip. And 10 minutes doesn't sound like a long walk, but in the heat, 10 minutes is a long walk. I felt like 10 minutes is a long walk in when you're walking in the heat.
I don't know if you find that with Dubai, but it really is deceiving. You think, oh, it's only over there, I can see it. But when you're walking in that heat, your body's going, no, get indoors, it's so hot. It's so hot. My cousin lived in Singapore for a bit as well, and she said the same thing. She said you couldn't stay out in the heat for long periods of time. You literally had to dash from shop to shop. It was just so hot. So each shop was obviously air-conned.
But I remember we were going to the Palms once, and we were waiting for the bus to go to the Palms, and you were like, "Oh, let's just walk." And I said, "It looks near, but it's not near."
No, it's not near at all. I think all the hotels look near. I did a little walk of the entire strip. Well, I say the entire strip, just the entire southern part of the strip. Now, for those of you that have never been to Vegas, the strip is 7 miles long. Yeah, you heard me, 7 miles. But the south part of the strip is about 2 or 3. But so I walked that, but in the heat, and my God, my feet were aching. I needed water desperately, so I had to go into one of the hotels and buy water. Aoife said, I did retop the apple juice and the small glass, had tea with the hot breakfast. I know, but you want more than that with a buffet. That would really annoy me. If they told me it was buffet breakfast and it was only drinks that were fillable, I'd be really knocked.
Yeah. I think if somebody told me buffet, as long as you read the description, they should say in the description what type of buffet breakfast it is. So as long as you read it, you know what to expect. But there's only been one time that I can think of where it was a terrible breakfast. But I'm one of these people, if it's terrible, I will just go out to eat. I'm not one of these ones that's going to suffer at breakfast. But Evelyn, she will suffer at the breakfast.
No,
you would suffer the breakfast,
but the thing is,
I'm not one of these people. I'm like, oh God.
Well, do you know what it is? I'll tell you why. So I don't know if everybody's the same, but when I always, like I said, I will have breakfast and prepay it because I bring a certain amount of money with me on holiday, and that's my budget. So what I do is I always think to myself, well, if we have breakfast, that's one less meal that I have to pay for our budget. So I've budgeted so we might have a meal in the evening. What's even nicer is if we do half board, because then that's breakfast and lunch dealt with. Now I don't mind going out once in a while, but I've budgeted then so I can spend more money outside on me or other things as well, but gifts and things. That's what I like to do. So if I prepaid all that and then we're not going to take advantage of it, then that's already messed up my budget.
Yeah, I feel like with like some of the hotels that we stay at, like some of the offerings are just like, now I don't mind if something's repetitive. I do get a bit of thing, oh God, what? Like sometimes you see these things and they look so iffy. Like you see it in a cream sauce of some sort and you just think, oh my God, am I going to get sick from eating that sauce or whatever it is? And there's only been one hotel where I stayed, and believe it or not, this was in Ibiza, and we stayed at the Bayamar Hotel. Now, I never eat in hotels because the food is never ever good. Like I never go to a hotel and I think, oh God, yeah, unless it's going to be like a 5-star hotel and you go downstairs and you think, oh my God, yeah, the food's going to be really good, or you specifically gone to that hotel to eat. And I'm talking about, you know, the sort of like the top hotels kind of thing. Now, if you're going to a hotel and you're not, if you're not worried about the quality and blah blah blah, then that's cool. That's fine. But sometimes I'm thinking, like, how was this cooked? Who cooked this? Was it cooked all the way through? Am I going to be sick? And any time I go abroad and eat at the hotel or any restaurant, that's what runs through my mind. Is it going to be cooked? Am I going to get sick? I don't want to spend the whole holiday being sick. And so there was one hotel that I stayed in Ibiza, and I purposefully didn't eat in the hotel. Then the night before we were leaving, we said, oh, do you know what? Let's eat in the hotel because we didn't go in season. So a lot of the restaurants were closed. But I tell you, the food was so nice. I was so shocked. And it was a 4-star hotel. And I was so shocked that the food was so nice. And I like tried a bit. And I regret. And it was only €9. And to this day, and I still remember it, and we're talking well over 15, 16 years ago. And I went with my friend Neat. And we stayed at this hotel. And the second to last night, we stayed in the hotel to eat, and the food was so good. And I regret not spending more time because the food that we were eating outside weren't all that. And we had paella and outside in a restaurant. I think it was the first day. And it was so salty. It was so salty. And
Eva said my breakfast was cocoa popped apple juice and then the hot fry up and tea. Well, that's enough. Kelly and Mark, my is it platelets count is 110.
Oh, is that your blood count of some sort?
I've been struggling to remain conscious with 3 or so hours of sleep in between.
Right. Okay.
I was going to say actually, you're going to. I'd probably be the same if I were that levels of sleep. No, I think it's that thing, isn't it? With going back to the breakfast as well. Now, we stayed at the Vic San Antonio, which is in Lanzarote. Now, I love that hotel. You've had enough of that hotel, but I love that hotel. I can stay there each and every time. And we did half board. So we did the buffet breakfast and the buffet dinner. Now, that's not good for me because I will stuff myself for breakfast and I will stuff myself in the evening, and I do nothing in between but sit on a sun manger.
And I don't stuff myself at all.
No, exactly. So because Madam here gets sick of the breakfast by day 2. So of course she
it's by day 4.
All right, but then she drags her feet then because she doesn't want to do it. But I'm like, so come on, let's go.
As if you don't go downstairs without me.
I was gonna say, but which is good when your mum and Ethan come as well, because I can then have breakfast with them because you don't want to have it. But in the evening, Kelly gets sick of the dinners as well. But I like the dinners there. I thought they're quite nice as well, and I like the fact I go, Indian tonight. I'm looking forward to that.
Like everything is dry. It's not good quality. It's, like, don't get me wrong. It's good, like in the sense, like for what it is. It is good for what it is. I'm not gonna lie. It's good for what it is. But I feel like by day 4, I'm so sick to death. Like I have other better restaurants that I like Trattoria, and they cook the food from fresh. It's not been sitting there forever and a day, and all of this. And yes, I do like chips, and they do chips, but like
they do. The problem is with buffet food, once it's been out for a while, as you probably know, it all condensates. So anything there is well. So anything that's like fresh vegetables or stuff as well, they quickly become overboiled very, very, because they're just sitting there under halogen lamps and they carry on cooking.
The fish always looks iffy. The meat looks iffy.
But I've had the fish. I don't eat the meat, but I've had the fish. The fish is nice.
They got cold cuts and all.
Yeah, I don't touch the cold cut.
No, I'm not saying that, but like to me, it's not good quality. It's not. I'm not everything has to be good quality, but what I do pay in mind is like, how was this cooked? How was this done? What part of the fish is this? Like, is it good fish? Is it Is it going to have bones in it? Blah, blah, blah.
You're not going to get Savoy quality on a buffet.
And I'm not expecting Savoy quality on a buffet. That's not what I'm saying. But in Vegas, right? So in Vegas, there's buffets everywhere, and they all pretty much cost around the same price. But you have good buffets.
Yeah, but they are. Yeah, but exactly. But they are expensive.
Right. But what I'm saying is, they're all pretty much around the same price. Correct?
Yeah, more or less.
More or less around the same price.
I mean, they do level. So I mean, to get anybody that's not familiar. So now this is going back several years. Kelly and I haven't been to Vegas in 4 years? I'd say 4 years. So
maybe 2019.
Yeah, 2019, maybe earlier.
Maybe earlier.
Yeah. So let's say 3 or 4 years.
Okay.
So between us, so for 2, I'm paying anything between $56 and the most expensive one was at the Caesar's Palace, and that cost me $117. So that is expensive for 2.
Everybody was raving about this buffet, right? So we thought, do you know what? Let's go try this buffet. And we actually did a video on it, so I do say what the price is and everything else. But like, there's been good reviews about it. There's this, there's that. But this is my problem with buffets, right? The fact that it's mass produced and it's just sitting there. Now, I feel you can do cook to order. So you cook a little bit, people take it, you cook a little bit more. But I'm all for that.
But that's what the chefs are doing, yeah.
Yeah, but therefore you're cutting down on waste.
Yeah.
Right? In a lot of these hotels, they don't do it. They just cook mass, like they're cooking for a school canteen.
Yeah.
That's how they cook. They're cooking for a school canteen. They just put it out there, and they just think, oh, tourists will eat anything. That's the vibe that I get.
I will eat anything. They're right.
Tourists will just eat anything, so it doesn't matter. It can be cooked. It can be not cooked. It can be blah blah blah, and tourists will just eat it. But I'm not about that. What I like, so you have something like the Caesar's Palace that we went to.
Yeah.
And then you have something like the Wicked Spoon, right?
Yeah.
The Wicked Spoon is cheaper than Caesar's Palace.
So remember, with these buffets, do check out our videos if you're interested on our on the buffets we went to. Again, like I said, it's several years old. But as well, what you'll see, the reason why you're paying extra for these as well, is you can't compare it to something like Vic San Antonio, because Vic San Antonio works out at something like £20 for the 2 of them.
I'm talking about quality, darling.
No, but that's why.
Yeah.
So you can't compare saying, oh, it's better quality. If you're
I'm not.
Hang on, let me finish. So something that you paid 20 quid for 2, against something where you paid 80 quid for 2.
Yeah, but what I'm comparing is 2 buffets in Vegas.
Yeah, that's a better comparison. So Caesars are 2 things. One, you pay for the name. 2 as well. Part of the reason why it's so expensive is because they have like a steak station and obviously all the meat stations. So in theory, you could have as many steaks as you want to if you're having it. So of course, each steak's expensive. So they're billing you to if you're going, so they can make the profit, but also as well, there's a lot of food waste. It's actually scandalous how much they throw away in things.
Proper scandalous. But what they do, so at Caesar's Palace, they have all these food stations, but they don't cook to order. So they're just sitting there. So they'll cook, and then they just sit in there. And what they do, they cook so that they can, like, I don't know what they're doing in the meantime because they're just cooking. Now, when you go to Wicked Spoon, which is cheaper, they cook. They wait till everything goes down till maybe the last 2 or 3, and then they'll cook some more. The last 2 or 3 rows is what I'm saying, and then they'll cook some more. Now, again, you can have steak. They actually carve the steak for you. So they have a carving station, so you can have your beef and your roast and your this and your that. And what I'm saying is, like, a lot of hotels, even though if you're paying £20 or £30 or £40, when you go to a restaurant and you pay your £20, they're doing food cooked to order, right? So you're paying your £20. And what I'm saying is, they have a station where they can do cook to order at the Vic San Antonio. It's where they do their theming on the right hand side. So as you walk in, it's on the right hand side. So they could do cook to order, but they don't. And so that's what I'm saying. I don't want to sit there and pay my £20, and the food is just gonna bore me. Like, don't get me wrong, I will eat it. I will sit there and I will eat. I'll pick a few things and whatever. Like, my mum and Evelyn went to a hotel, and that they were having the evening meal, and they looked at it and they go, Kelly would not like this. They looked at it and they go, no, this is not for Kelly. Kelly would not like this. But I'm not saying I'm not precious. I'm not saying that, like, because I will eat, McDonald's, KFC. Do you know what I mean? I'll slum it like other people. However, I don't want to do it every single night. No, I don't want to do that every single night.
And that is fair enough, to be honest with you. Aoife said, oh no, it's pernicious anemia that she has.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Keegan said, I rate the breakfast buffet at the Premier Inn out of 10.
Oh, wow.
Well, hang on, what do you rate it out of 10?
I'm assuming 10 out of 10.
V Singular, is that a 10 out of 10? Is it that good? V Singular said, most buffet restaurants are just stressed and spattered on plates. And waste can also be a bit of a problem when a lot of food isn't eaten. Not many buffets are based on quality, unfortunately. That is true. And I will say that, actually, the best buffets we've been to cost a bomb.
Yeah.
So we went to one in London, which is really nice. What was that one we went?
Ned?
Yeah, that was that one. The Ned. You check out our Ned video. That is amazing, but it is very expensive.
It's gone very pricey now. It's like £90.
Yeah, I think we paid 70 at the time, but even then that was quite pricey. But that's unlimited lobster, oysters. It's got some very nice foods in there. But there was a really nice one we went to that was opposite Waterstones on that same road that.
It's not there anymore.
It's not there anymore.
That's called the Dilly now, but it used to be Le Meridian.
That's it, Le Meridian. So that was really nice as well. That was a nice, but again, that was expensive.
But it wasn't that expensive, because I used to always get like a Groupon deal or something like that. So it would be like £50 for the both of us, or £60 for the both of us. It wasn't like extortionate, like going to the Ned. But you're
right, be saying that, so you are right about that, because like I said, especially a cheaper buffet, what they tend to do is they bring the waste as well. I mean, we were in Vegas once, of course, they stop the breakfast. It's not like British buffets. They'll stop the buffet, and then that's it, they'll close, and then they'll reopen at a certain time. This one just keeps going.
Constant.
So they stopped the breakfast buffet at 11 and then started bringing out the dinner, but of course it keeps going.
Yeah.
So if you time it right, you can have breakfast and dinner at lunch at the same time. But I noticed one guy brought out loads of fried eggs, and he brought them out about 5 to 10. And I thought, wait a minute, you're sorry, 5 to 11. You're closing the breakfast buffet. And that's what he did at 11 o'clock. He then took those eggs, which nobody took, and then he took them out the back. So clearly he's throwing them away.
Oh, right.
That's an entire tray. There must have been about 50 fried eggs in there, which he's just going to bin. And I thought, that's really bad.
Oh, Keegan, Bye.
Oh, Keegan's got to leave. I've got to go now. Enjoy speaking to you tonight. Bye, guys.
Going to go live on Tuesday. Bye.
Oh, well, enjoy your live.
Wow.
If you are, we're going live on Tuesday too, so we might not be able to.
Oh, maybe he's saying he's joining us.
Oh, yeah. If you're going to join us on live, yes, please do. Yeah, we'll be doing our live on Tuesday.
Yeah. I don't mind. Like, I love a Toby Carvery. It's not the greatest of qualities and things like that, but I do enjoy. Like, I don't mind slumming it. Do you know what I mean? But I don't want to do, when you're on holiday and you think you're going to have that however many days. No.
Well, the other thing with buffet as well, of course, the idea is for someone with a massive appetite. And I think the cheaper buffets are that someone who doesn't want to pay a lot of money, but obviously wants to eat a lot of food.
Or can't afford to pay a lot of money. They're on a budget and stuff like that. So I don't diss it or anything like that, but sometimes I do question the quality. And, and that there was a hotel that I went to work in once. I was actually doing work experience there. So it's many years ago. So I was doing work experience at this hotel, and I never go for the vegetarian option. But for some reason, at this particular day, I decided to go for the vegetarian. I got it. I didn't like it. I just sort of like left it there. Anyway, it turns out the next day, like, loads of people were off because they caught salmonella poisoning. And they had been using the same spoon that they were using with the chicken, with the meat or whatever it was that they were. Imagine that day I decided to get vegetarian.
That was lucky.
And I never get vegetarian ever.
That really irks me though, is pescatarian as well. It really irks me that people will, there's, like I said, there's tongs. So there'll be a tong for each thing. So a tong for like a buffet breakfast. There'll be a tong for the sausages, a separate tong for the bacon, a separate tong. The number of people that use the same tongs they've done bacon with and then help themselves to other stuff. I think, no, just because you don't do it doesn't mean that there's a tong for each one. There's a reason they're all separate.
I think though that they should have a separate station so it's away from the meat. For vegetarian and vegan.
These things Larry said, I've noticed that most of the foods at buffets in my area are all fried food.
Yeah.
Probably because it's easier and faster to make and serve. Well, do you know the other thing these singularity they say, I didn't realize this, is in certain Chinese buffets, they will they use a lot of tempura batter. But they put it in everything. You won't notice it so much, but they put tiny little droplets of batter in the thing and then fish these out. And then put them in with the other food. And then what that does is that batter fills you up. Because although they say it's a buffet, you can eat as much as you like, they don't want you going in and eating too much. They want you to be able to have your fill. Really, where they make their money is somebody that has like you.
Yeah.
They'll lose money on me, but they'll make money on you because you'll have a small amount, one plate, and then that's it. So you've paid for that. Yeah. But I'll go in and have like 4 or 5 plates. So then they've lost money on me.
Yeah, I'll go and have what I want to eat. And then I will go back and then choose maybe something else. But with the, like, say like something like Toby Carvery, it's very difficult to get small portions. Like, because when you're dishing out the potato comes out in one massive boom. And you're just like, oh, I just wanted a little bit of that. And I like the look of those roast potatoes. I only wanted a couple of those. Or, so it's difficult in the Toby Carvery to make my plate smaller.
I mean, the other thing that always puts me off with very, very cheap food is like our local chip shop does just chicken in chips for £1.99. And you think the quality of that chicken, people go, oh, this is so cheap. I think, yeah, but for £1.99 for a massive box of chicken and chips. What's that chicken? Is it even chicken?
Yeah, like even when I buy stuff at the supermarket, I try to sort of buy organic.
Oh, Keegan's back. He went to McDonald's. What did you get? What did you get? We were just talking actually about fried food, so we just say what you got in McDonald's.
Yeah, I don't mind slumming it. I like McDonald's. I like KFC and things like that. Like some of those places have been questioned with regards to their nutrition, what they're actually using and things like that.
Kelly always says that to me. So like I said, the way it works in my workplace is if it's your birthday, you have to go out and buy cakes for everybody. I've never understood that, why you have to do it. Anyway, that's the way it is. Because I went out and I thought I bought a load of cakes, but Morrison's are doing 6 donuts for 50p. Of course, Kelly says to me, what is in that donut? so they can sell it at 50p
for like
6.
6.
It's not 50p each, it's 50p for 6. Now if you think
what type of preservatives?
What donut time where we get ours, they're £5 each pretty much. £4 range from £4.50 to £5 something. But my God, he's gonna say if you can do 6 donuts at 50p, I was gonna say it as well. It does make you wonder. Evening, hello.
Hey.
Keegan said I got 2 cheeseburger, chips, and ice cream.
Oh,
nice
sounds
one,
good.
And you deserve it. These things I said, chicken and chips were $1.99. Sounds very, very suspicious. Makes you wonder where the chicken is bought from. No, totally. I totally as well. But of course, the reason they only have it at a certain time, and that's really to attract kids coming out from school. That's what they do as well. I noticed that as well. That offer is round from about 3 o'clock to about 5.
Know. I just think to
myself, that's my suspicion that it's to attract children, because kids coming out of school, what they'll do is they'll pay their £2 and get their chicken and chips.
There's sort of things that I used to eat when I was younger, and I just like wonder, well, like what was I eating? Like what was I eating? And like people go, yeah, 50p for however many donuts, and in my mind I'm thinking, well, what have they put in those donuts?
Well, do you know what? This is what I said with these like things like this. So this has come from the United States. There's not much left of them, I've eaten, but these are the candy canes. But if you look at the ingredients, sugar, corn syrup, water, artificial coffee flavor. Then you've got FD&C red 40, FD&C yellow 5, FD&C yellow 6, FD&C blue 1, titanium dioxide. You think
titanium dioxide?
And I'm thinking, what is these things as well? I haven't Googled them because I don't want to know.
No.
And I've only got 1 cane left, so I will finish that cane.
But Mark's very funny because he won't want to Google that. But if I buy something, he automatically looks at the back of the packet, and I'm thinking, so you want to narrow down what you're actually going to eat now? And I'm just like,
I look at the back of the packet to make sure there's no meat in it. There's no meat in it. This is just chemicals. Keegan said, one time I went to McDonald's, I got my 2 cheeseburgers, came with onions. Do you not like onion? They don't normally do it with onions.
Yeah, they used to. I don't think they do now, but they used to do chopped onions. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they used to do very small chopped onions, but I noticed that they don't do it now. But yeah, that's what they used to do. That's how they used to come.
Kelly hates gherkins. Every time she'll do this, she'll dissect her burger and start deconstructing it. Out come the gherkins. Out comes the tomato.
Yeah, I don't like tomato.
And then so that I just see, and every when I come to recycle all the bowls, there's box here because I've got to open it up. And there's blooming gherkin and tomato, and I've got to throw that out. And then, but yeah, out comes the tomato. Out comes the gherkin.
I love onions and I love raw onions, so I don't mind onions and things like that. But yeah, tomatoes and things.
No, not your thing. But yeah, Keegan, are they still doing the festive pie, or did you not check? That's what Kelly.
I like the festive pie.
Kelly's bought about 5 festive pies and eaten one of them.
No, that's not true. There's one that I didn't eat.
There's 2 that you didn't eat.
There's one that I didn't eat.
Kelly buys them and just leaves them somewhere, and then I find this festive pie just sat there. I go, is this yours? Oh, I don't want it. I don't want it. You've not done McDonald's for ages. Actually.
No, I haven't done it for a little while. I did do it a couple of weeks ago. I think the last time I did McDonald's was maybe before Christmas.
Yeah.
I think I did.
Is that your favourite guilty pleasure food, McDonald's?
I would say KFC over McDonald's. I think. But I like both of them for different reasons.
Does anybody else have a guilty pleasure food? So what I mean by guilty pleasure food is some food that you would not really admit to eating, but you'll eat it anyway because you like it.
I don't mind. Yeah, it's not a guilty pleasure per se.
Mine would be pot noodle. I've not had one in ages, but I really used to like them. But I wouldn't tell. I don't know why. I wouldn't tell anybody I ate them. I would just eat them. I just really like them. Keegan said, I got the wrong order at McDonald's. I hate onions. The festive food is over at McDonald's. Oh no, you've missed out now. That's it. It's gone. I thought they would do it. So tonight is the 6th night. So tonight you've got to take your Christmas decks down. Supposedly, I'm not going to bother till doing it. Even said, keep your onions. Give me the tomato and the gherkins.
Yeah, no to the tomato and no to the gherkin. Yeah. And even sometimes the iceberg lettuce, because iceberg lettuce just doesn't agree with me.
Well, our trouble is with the lettuce in any burgers, because it condensates and it all starts to wilt.
No, in general, like when I bought salads.
Oh, okay.
That's why I buy the greener salads. So like the spinach, watercress, and the rocket.
Okay.
Because I can eat those, but I can't eat iceberg lettuce. It repeats on me. It doesn't agree with me at all.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
So I don't eat them. But yeah, I don't have a guilty pleasure per se with regards to food. Because I don't mind telling someone that I'll eat McDonald's or KFC because it's not a problem for me. But I don't have. I'm just trying to think what would I eat that I wouldn't really tell people, but there isn't anything really. Yeah.
No, I think. Well, I just say that sometimes as well. Not that you wouldn't tell them. There's no shame.
Yeah, no, but like you would sort of like but like pot noodle, I can see why you wouldn't tell. Yeah,
no, exactly. And to be honest, I haven't had one for years, but that always was my guilty pleasure food. I started eating them at work because they're just so convenient. You just boil the kettle and bung it in, and then you just let them.
Yeah, but there are so many other better like noodles or rice and things like that. Yeah.
Pleasure.
But pot noodle,
that's why it was a guilty pleasure food, but it's not one I've had for ages.
Yeah. I remember my sister used to eat them all the time. Like,
Giga said, I took my Christmas tree down yesterday. It was a mess. Is it a real one? Is that why? Do you know what as well? I won't let Kelly have a real tree because they just create so much mess. I'm forever sucking pine needles out of our old carpet.
Yeah. Well, we've never had a real tree, but this one you're forever sucking the
no. Sorry, that was in my last place. So I thought we had my old flatmates years ago. So I live with two girls, and they insisted. They kept on saying, "I want a real tree." And then after that, I said no. For about a year afterwards, I was vacuuming up
pine needles,
and they get lodged in the carpet, and they're so you have to actually physically pull them out. The carpet, the Hoover can't suck them up.
Yeah.
And also as well, they put it right next to a radiator. And
God, that would kill off a tree.
Well, that was it. And they were mystified. Oh, the tree's dying. I said, what do you think? This thing is dying next to this radiator. You've got the thing on full blast. And then you're mystified why this poor tree is all turned brown and is dying. But yeah, that's why. The artificial one is much better. Oh, so these things I said, I probably eat KFC more than I'm willing to admit. Don't tell anyone, though. Sometimes after a long day, I walk past KFC and immediately start craving popcorn chicken. I can't stop myself. You see, that's great. That is what I call that is definitely a guilty pleasure food.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I like the thighs. So I like the chicken thighs. I don't mind the leg, but I don't like the breast and the wings and stuff like that. But I don't mind thighs, and I don't mind I like the thighs are my favorite, and I don't mind the legs. And then I like the hot wings. I like anything that's sort of like I went to Wasabi the other day, and it's been ages unless we pass one, because we don't really have one locally.
No, we don't.
So unless we're going into town and we pass one, and I brought I think I brought Wasabi home twice. So the first time I brought Wasabi home, they do this chicken bite things. So I was eating noodles. So I had the noodles with the katsu chicken. So I was eating that, and then I had this sort of like popcorny type chicken. Oh, I did it on the live. That was on Tuesday.
Oh, okay.
And I was eating the chicken pizza. They were so spicy, and like not spicy as in, oh my God, they're gonna blow my head off, but spicy enough that my nose was running, and I was just like, oh my God. But it's so good.
I made me laugh because Kelly served steak, didn't you, to Siobhan when she was with us?
Oh God.
And she put cayenne pepper on rather than paprika. So I'm gonna no, she won't know. She was eating
I didn't say she won't notice. I didn't say that. What I said was, I'm sure she'll let me know.
She was eating like this.
But I didn't put too much on because I'd only done a little bit. And then I even asked your brother, was it hot? And he said no, because I was eating it and it wasn't hot. And when I was eating it, I thought, oh, thank God it's not that hot. But like, Siobhan was like,
doesn't like hot food.
And I was just like, oh my God.
Keegan said, oh, it was a real tree. It was a mess in the living room. That's the problem. As soon as you move that tree, all the pines just drop. And like I said, the vacuum cleaner will only pick up so many, and then they get lodged in the carpet. That's why we got a fake one. Although this one is our fake one. I'm looking at it now, so I've got to take it down. So it's got fake snow on it. But,
yeah.
But every time I move it, all the snow just keeps falling onto the carpet. So again, I got to keep hoovering that up.
But it's a great tree. I really like it.
Yeah, I was gonna
It's
say.
got the lights in it, so you don't have to take lights off and wrap them around the tree and all of that. The lights are just in the tree, which is quite good.
And every year I said I want to put the tree up earlier and earlier and earlier, and I never get.
Yeah.
And I'm always busy around November. It's always a nightmare time for me. So I never get a chance to do it.
Maybe next year.
There's one year I did do it as well. There was and there's always a reason I can't do it. I go to do it. That time we got back from holiday, I went to go out and get the ladder from the outside to be able to get up into the loft. And that's when we found the dead cat in the blooming garden.
Oh,
So I had to deal with
right.
that. And then
Okay.
rather than
Was this year with snow, maybe?
no, this year we were entertaining, weren't we?
Oh, yeah,
Well,
yeah,
plus I
yeah.
was really busy at work. I was so busy at work because we're tidying up each room, so I just
Yeah,
didn't
yeah,
have time
yeah,
to do it.
yeah, yeah.
Keegan said we used to have a fake Christmas tree every year. I didn't like it.
Right.
I know there is the thing with a real tree. I know there's that real authentic thing, but I think the problem with the thing is as well. The bit I don't like with the real tree as well is you have to throw it away at the end of it.
Yeah, they don't last as long, obviously, because they're real, and they last what they if you get it just before Christmas. So like if you get it delivered like Christmas Eve or the day before, like Christmas Eve, and then they last till about a few days into the new
Yeah,
year.
yeah.
But yeah, they don't always last as long as you hope they do. And then yeah, you've got to throw them away.
But I've got to say, Keegan is right. There's nothing quite like a real tree.
Yeah.
I mean, the real tree really just because it is real.
Yeah.
I love that story. I don't think it's the UK or US, but some guy bought a tree, he put it in his living room, and he kept hearing this cuckoo. What the that? There was an owl in it.
Oh god.
There's a baby owl. And the guy that had bought all the trees didn't notice it. And of course, the guy that had actually sold him the tree hadn't noticed it. So there was this tiny little baby owl that was in the tree. So they had to get the RSPCA to
There was one year that they got a tree, but there was bugs on the tree at one place that I worked, and you were finding bugs around. But they were talking about that you do get tree bugs.
Yeah,
so
there
you have
are.
to
Yeah,
be
yeah.
you have to
What
be
is it?
careful when
It's a living natural thing.
Yeah, it's a living natural thing. So yeah, you just got to be wary of the tree bugs. But I don't know if I could deal with the tree bugs.
I don't
To
think.
be quite honest.
But yeah, the plastic one's all right for now. I think.
Yeah,
but,
yeah, I quite like our one. I've got to be honest.
But I'm glad. I'm very, very, very glad you enjoyed your tree. I thought that was good as well. Yeah, maybe we will look at that one year doing a real tree.
Yeah, I think now we have to take down all the ornaments off the tree now.
Oh, you're going to Butlins in the summer holidays.
Nice. Which Butlins are you going to?
Do you know what? I was going to ask that as one of our questions. Has anybody got their summer holidays already booked? I can see Keegan already has. We haven't yet as well at the moment. So...
No, I don't know where we're going to go or what we want to do and things like that. So yeah, so I just have to look into it a bit more. Yeah.
Normally we'd have something booked, but we've got nothing booked this year.
No, and yeah, it was just. It was based on a couple of things, and so those things haven't panned out, unfortunately. So I think we'll have to rethink and then see what we want to do. See where we want to go. It might just be a quick break, as we did this last year, like when we did a quick break to Brussels.
It could be to Dubai, the Singularity. We might be picking your brains.
You never know. You never know.
Yeah, and see how it is as well. But yeah, if anybody's got some nice little trip ideas that they're thinking of going to, please do let us know. It could inspire us to go. We don't want to steal your ideas, but yeah, if there's anyone that you're willing to share, we'd love to go to as well. And we've not been on a proper holiday 2 weeks for ages.
Yeah, we haven't been on a 2-week holiday for a long time. And that's probably something that we could look into. Yeah, so we could see.
But Butlins should be nice as well. I was going to say, are you going to is there one in Skegness?
Yeah, there's one in Skegness.
And one in Blackpool, isn't
and I don't know about Blackpool, but I went to one in Bognor Regis.
Oh, yeah, it's Skegness.
Skegness,
it is. I thought you might be going to the Skegness
Yeah,
one.
Skegness is quite a big one. And I remember sort of like going to the Skegness one. And I remember going trampolining and things like that. And then I remember sort of entering a competition, coming second in a competition, and I wasn't dressed that great. And yeah, it was just different things really. Yeah, I do remember Skegness. But I felt like Bognor Regis was the better one for me.
Have you been to the Bognor Regis one, Keegan? I don't know if you've been to that one as well, because I know you do like your Skegness one. No, that's something we're gonna need to look into. These things, as you said, that would be cool. Although I don't recommend going to Dubai in the summer as it reaches 40. Well, that was what I said, 45 degrees Celsius. Best time is between November and April.
Okay.
Do you know what? Do you remember that my friend was asking you? That was so. So my friend had just had a baby.
Yeah.
So his baby was about at the time 8 months old.
I think it was even younger.
Yeah, it could have been. And he said, "Oh yeah, I'm looking to go to Dubai. Could you?" Because Kelly's very good at looking for deals. Could you look for a cheap deal? And then you said, "Well, August is really cheap." And he said, "Yeah, that'd be good." I said, Nicholas, you've got an 8-month-year-old, and you're going to take him to a place where it's 45 degrees. Well, like you say, 42 to 45 degrees Celsius.
Wow.
The baby's gonna die out there.
I said it's gonna be far too hot to be able to do anything out there. Because I think at that point we were suggesting. I can't remember where we were suggesting, but I said
maybe Canary Islands, I think, was one we suggested to him.
Yeah, but it would have been hot in the August. I think were we suggesting Mauritius maybe, or something like that.
No, he couldn't afford the Mauritius.
Yeah.
But
it would have been a cheap time to go.
That's a really good tip, though. Thank you. So the best time to go to Dubai is between November and April. So that's worth knowing. And I can imagine that because that's the winter time.
Yeah.
So it'll be a lot cooler.
Yeah.
I always find that just so mad being in because we're so used in this country, or UK, being cold between pretty much October all the way up till May.
It's crazy. October to pretty much May. Yeah.
So when you go to a country where it's warm during those months, you think, hey, but that was what's so great about Florida. We were looking at Floridian holidays and just on YouTube, different people filming from Florida. And there's people filming from November and December in Florida, and they're all in shorts and t-shirts. So I think, oh, God.
In Christmas shirts, by the way, and stuff like that. But short sleeve shirts and things like that.
I remember reading a documentary, watching a documentary with will.i.am.
Oh, right.
And he was saying that as well. They said, "Do you like it here?" Because he obviously does a lot of filming in the UK for The Voice and what have you. And he said, "I love it here." And they said, aren't you worried about the weather? He said, "No, that's why I like it." He said, "I'm from LA." And he said, "It's hot all year round." Yeah. He said, "I love wearing different jackets and coats." He said, "I love that look."
Yeah,
he said,
like fashion.
You can't do that in LA. He said, "You're really limited to what you can wear." It pretty much is. He said, in LA, everyone wears shorts and t-shirts all year round. But he said, to have that look, he said, in the UK, I can wear all these different jackets, especially in the winter. And they look cool. And also as well, like I said, you need it because it's so cold.
Yeah.
But he said, in LA, it's so bitterly cold. Sorry, so hot that you just, and it's warm all year round. I had an Irish friend stay out in LA, and he said that. He said he was working as a builder. And he said, you're in shorts all year round. He said, you stop wearing shorts about December time, but you're back in them late February.
Right.
And he said that so just December to late February is when you have to put on something a bit warmer. But he said after February you're back in shorts. Keegan said, I put fake snow on my real Christmas tree. Oh, did you with a spray can?
With a spray can.
V-Singer said it. I'm a very big fan of cozy Christmases at home while it's snowing outside. So knowing people don't even go on the beach on Christmas sounds so wrong to me. Well, we did that in Mauritius, we said, and it does. Do you know, it didn't feel like Christmas. I said to Kelly, this feels like it's August.
Yeah, it doesn't feel, but like for me, maybe it's muscle memory, maybe from when I was a kid. But for me, although it doesn't feel like Mauritius, it doesn't feel like Christmas, I don't feel like I'm missing anything.
Yeah.
So for me, I don't know if it's because maybe I went a lot when I was little. We'd spend Christmas in Mauritius, and Mauritius is normal. Is like for my family, it's normal to be hot. In fact, it's weird that it's cold for them when they're here.
Well, the same friend I was telling you about, he spent a year also when he was traveling in Australia, and he said that, V Singularity, it's very funny you say that. He said, you know what? He said, first of all, I love the fact because obviously it's southern hemisphere. So it's very hot in Australia during the Christmas time. But he said, after about 3 or 4 months of it, he said, you do miss coming in.
The seasons.
Well, not so much the season. He said, you do miss coming in, putting on a fire, coming in the cold, getting all snuggly and warm, having all your Christmas lights. He said it really isn't the same having Christmas decks when it's boiling hot outside. It seems really weird.
I don't know. In my adult life, I've been away twice for Christmas, and I didn't miss that it was cold. I didn't miss that. I liked the fact that I was on the beach having a cocktail on Christmas Day. Or like, I feel my mindset is maybe a little bit different, but it could be because maybe I may not remember, but maybe I spent a lot of Christmases in Mauritius and it was normal for it to be warm. Whereas here, um, like sort of like later on as I was getting older, we would spend our Christmases here. So maybe in my mind it's normal, maybe somewhere in the back there. Because for me, I didn't miss that it was cold. I didn't miss it.
Well, also as well, I suppose. All right, here's another question for you then,
Okay.
and I'll pose it to everybody else as well. Do you think it's the novelty factor, or could you live in a country that is warm all year round? But I said, well, hot in the summer, but then warm or mild in the winter. So basically, let's say it never ever gets below 22 degrees, 23 degrees.
Right. Okay.
So it's always warm. You could wear t-shirt and shorts every day of the year. Would you be able to do that, or would you miss the seasons?
It would depend because you would acclimatize, so
Yeah.
it would become seasons to you. In the first couple of years, it wouldn't be, but then after that, you would acclimatize. So even if it went into the 20s, but then it's warmer normally in the 30s
All
and
right.
40s, you would feel like I watched some of the Floridians, right? And and it's like 22, and they've got their coats on, and you think like even in Mauritius, like you go and in the winter time, in their winter, so our summer, they've got their big coats on because for them it's cold, but for me it's still warm.
Keegan said, I think going to the beach at Christmas time during snow and wind is wrong. Well,
no, we're talking about if it was hot.
Yeah. So, I mean, could you, all right, how about that? Could you live in a country that's hot all year round? So,
What, the same temperature?
So, let's say I missed the cold at Christmas, says Evelyn. So, I'm just saying, there's a place, I think I did read this somewhere, that the warmest country on the planet is somewhere in Africa, and I've forgotten the name of the country. It's right on the equator. Could be Zambia. I might be wrong, but they're saying it never gets below 28 degrees normally.
Right.
So if it goes to, so 28 is the coldest. I mean, that's a hot summer's day.
Yeah, oh, cool.
So
yeah.
And it goes up to 40 degrees in the summer. So like I said, it's never ever cold. Could you live in a country that's hot all year round?
I couldn't live in a country that is hot all year round. But what I am saying is, so if your lowest is 28 and your highest is, let's say, 42, what I'm saying is for the first year or 2 years or even 3 years, it would feel hot all year round. However, your body would acclimatize and know that at 28 degrees you're cold.
I don't think you'd ever see 28 as cold.
No, I'm telling you, because the thing is, when you go to Mauritius, their lowest probably is 20, 21, 22 in their summertime.
Yeah.
And for them, look, even when we went to Lanzarote, you saw everyone wearing their big coats.
That's true, actually. And the same in Florida. What was quite funny is, so it got down to about 22. Now, I'm in shorts and a t-shirt because to me, that's lovely and warm.
Yeah.
But to Floridians, it was so funny. Some of them were in parka jackets and they had gloves on.
As if it was
cold. It's just not even... These things I said, yeah, it could definitely depend on different experiences, but also preferences, because if you live in a country that don't have many beaches around, like England, I do understand why you'd like that. And I do get that. I do get that.
I think because when we went to Mauritius, I didn't miss that. I didn't miss the traditional Christmas that we had the 2 times that I went. But I guess as well, I already had the mindset. So when I think about it, and I'm thinking, why didn't I miss it? But maybe because when as a kid, maybe I went to Mauritius quite often and around Christmas time, because that's when everybody has a holiday. In England, pretty much, where and especially back then, because nothing would be open on Christmas Day.
That's true.
Nothing would be open, so it would be quite feasible that everybody would have 2 weeks off, and you'd go to Mauritius. And if you go to Mauritius, New Year is a really big celebration. It's bigger than Christmas over there. So you go and you see all the Christmas decorations, but it obviously didn't feel like Christmas to me. It didn't. But again, I enjoyed having cocktails on the beach on Christmas Day. I've got to say, I enjoyed it both times that I've been away for Christmas.
Keegan said there wasn't any snow here in Scunthorpe, but Manchester and Liverpool had snow.
Oh, wow.
Well, do you know, funny actual fact, people forget that. People always think of as winter as being from like pretty much October onwards, but it's not. Winter actually officially takes place on the 21st of December, which is the shortest day, and then on till the 21st of March, which is the longest. Which is the equinox. So it really is. Winter is actually December all the way through to March, but in this country, it feels a lot colder.
Although it's getting milder and milder.
But they do say, so we're much more likely to get cold weather January, February, March because of that.
Yeah.
So we're more likely to get snow. If we're going to get snow, and I've noticed that when we do get snow, it's much more likely to be February, end of January, beginning of February.
Right.
That's when we had it this last year. We had it in February. I remember there's a video of us walking down the park.
Yeah.
That was February.
Yeah.
Up till Christmas, there was no snow at all.
Although we did have
snow this year. Yeah, we did have snow.
Christmas, we did.
We did have it in London, quite thick. So it does really depend on where you are.
And it lasted for ages. Like it didn't snow. It might have snowed a couple of times, but then it lasted for ages because it was so cold. It was so cold, and I was pleased that I didn't have to go out in it. I think I might have gone out in it once.
Yeah.
I had to drive somewhere. I think me and Lish, we met up and we were meeting my cousins for dinner. And I think that was the only time that I actually went out in it and drove in it. And then yeah.
There you go. Anyway, guys, it's just gone 8 o'clock, so I think we will leave the live there for today. I hope you had a fantastic week. Thank you so much for everybody joining the live. We always had a fantastic chat, which we always do. That's it from Mark and Kelly's Trips, Tips and Things this week. But we will be back Tuesday, 6 p.m. or try to 6 p.m. Tuesday at our usual time. Lovely chatting to you as well. Enjoy Piccadilly, and hopefully we may get to see you
if we're in that part
of London. We will hopefully get to see you,
or you'll see us.
Well, you'll see us. You know. Until then, look after yourselves. Take care. Remember, you will never talk to have fun, and above all, be safe. We'll see you on Tuesday. Have a fantastic weekend. Bye for now.
Bye for now.